So just to know, extra Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shakir the Cyclist. I'm from Bandits Bicycle Club. Joining, obviously, this great initiative that you're part of, which is for Boys of Soweto.
We just stay outside. That's it. Stay outside. You see these things. You feel me?
Shout out to everybody for coming through. My name is MK Fresh. That's the type of business that my father does, and I do the sneaker business.
My name is Iyo. I am the first employee of Batu.
Oh, if you're looking fly, certain people look at you a certain way. But I was always fascinated about how the stuff is made.
And what is the behavior of our people coming from the township? And at the time, you use passion points to try to answer to some of the challenges that we have.
And as I was doing Boys and Bucks, obviously, I was like, I need to concentrate on MK Fresh. I started this thing called Hunting for Kicks, which is sneaker related. It was based on sneaker storytelling. I wanted to work with different brands, obviously in line of telling their stories.
So I love business, and back then you would have like maybe in a week 4 days where you attend classes, and you have 1 day off or 2 days off. So I told my best mate Andrew, I'm like, we are idling. When you don't have class, we're just sitting in the wood. We need to do something.
But I get to do now other stuff which requires other services, which are similar services that I was doing at Nike, which is agency work. Sometimes as a Nike person, we'll go to an agency, we're like, we got this product, we want to sell it. How do we sell it? They come with Strat. I was like, I could do that for Hunting for Kicks. That's when we start, doing trade show. I think our biggest trade show was the BET 2013 or 15, somewhere there. It was our first trade show where I got all the sneakerheads across the country. ASIC, we worked with ASIC, Shelf Life. I think it was a ripe time for sneaker culture at that time. And then the thing kind of blew up, but then obviously the agency now became the thing that I could tell other stories beyond just the sneakers.
And we built such a great clientele to a point that our business was so successful that we didn't have to go door to door and sell anymore. And I want to say to each and every one of you guys, and I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think there is anyone in this room who hasn't had that voice. The problem is we try to look outside and listen to a lot of noise and voice and cool factor. Tell you what, guys, impact comes from service. It does not come from, and I say this with utmost respect, 3 years, 5 years, probably 10 years from now, we won't remember who was the most popular influencer, but we'll remember the people that have created impact.
I see a lot of people in the house who actually start that route. And it's from the aspect of underground hip hop, which mainly will be talking about, black consciousness and just saying that you're beautiful. I knew what I wanted to do after that. I knew that there was retail. I knew that there was people that were making the style to be. I knew now the Run DMC track about I Love My Adidas is about the sneaker culture.
then I think that's where the entrepreneurial bug bit me, because that business taught me how to sell, it taught me how to connect to people, it taught me the importance of building a model, a value chain, and really starting from the ground up, the dynamics of what business is.
I am doing my day, appreciating.
I was like, let's go party, and we're gonna go and liberate the country. And the power of that word is that you don't have to come from Soweto to Tembisa.
Just Boys of Soweto, just the name. It's a story on its own, you know what I mean? So if you can create a brand that has already that statement, I don't think you need to go hard in terms of telling your story. You have to be able to take an L with confidence and still come back tomorrow. And for me, it's from sports, like I knew sports that if you win, people celebrate, but the main thing is you gotta win next year, you know what I mean? And there's always that philosophy, and if you didn't win, we're gonna practice and we're gonna get at it. So I come from that understanding that I look at my L's as more or less my W's at the same time, because it's also a beautiful journey that we're working. You can be stressed by all these things. They're gonna come your way. All the hood, like that we talked about, with the environment, all those things are gonna come at you like 100%, but it's up to you how you take it in, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, don't let your disappointments take you away from the goal.
This is an opportunity that a lot of people haven't gotten today, alone, right? There's a lot of kids that probably gonna see this on socials. There's a lot of kids who would want to be here and they couldn't get here for different reasons, right? This is an opportunity on its own, and I think that's where it all starts. People fail to maximize opportunities, to take as much as you can and maximize on that.
And like the style, so how do I go about that?
With or without it, I don't need any validation. I don't need the external accolades to define who I am, because I carry my purpose lives in the human side of me, right? So I always try to connect with people from a human interaction more than anything else. So that thing for me keeps me grounded, and I think for me personally, I just enjoy connecting with people. So I'm that guy who likes talking to people. So it makes it easier for me to engage with people. I think it keeps me grounded. And in closing, what also keeps me grounded is this idea of, I remember I was sitting with a friend, and I was telling him that, Donna, we want to build about one day, if we can have like 5 or 10 stores, and we employ 40 people, and we will be big, boy. That would be a big business. We would have created impact. So God had other plans. He said we're going to actually do 35 brick-and-mortar stores and counting, and 500 people. So I always ask myself that I've got no reason to think that I've arrived, because at some point the gym was 10 stores with 40 people, right? So that means this thing at 35, maybe it's not even 2% of the dream. Maybe it's not 5% of the dream. Maybe it's not even 10% of the dream. Because if I had a vision of saying 5, 10, and 40 people, and we are at 535, maybe the dream is far bigger. Impact does not come from what we deem as cool outside there. It comes from the heart, and the heart to be of service to the people. So I want to encourage all of you guys in this room with our respective dreams, ambition, to pursue that intuition and that inner voice. Thank you, gents.
In closing, right, we have something. Can I answer if the child, social media, which I told him, like, okay, I just bored. So in closing, a track just to entertain us, and Mrs. Pumela want to share some words too. Sure.
You coming here is the first step on working on that internal voice, because what you You are here to pick nuggets that will help you go home and reflect and will say, okay, this and this was said. How do I make myself better? How do I work on the internal?